Olipop! Anyone else really like Olipop? I only like 2 of their flavors, but I really like the 2 flavors. My hair looks a little stupid. No, because hold on. My hair looks beautiful without my freaking headphones, right? Look at it. Blake Lively could probably do just as good. My hair is probably just as damaged as yours. Then I have to put on my headphones, right? Instantly kills the vibe. Continue.
All right.
Good Lord, Lizzie, you can't just do that to a man.
All right. Tonight we're gonna catch.
I don't remember what voice I did. I recorded this last episode 2 days ago and I already forgot.
All right. Tonight we're going to catch fireflies.
At this blunt declaration from your sister, you looked up from your macaroni and cheese dinner. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer, coming out on warm nights to dance through the sky. Tonight was particularly balmy. You knew there were bound to be a ton of them around. I read that really weird. I apologize. I can only read so well, and it's not. She tuned in from another dimension. Oh, you are you? Yeah, started eating faster. You look over at your mom's. You pushed your food around your plate. I'm a gulp it! A grin curved your lips as you started to eat a little bit faster, excited for what was to come. It seemed like you were too excited, however, as you started to choke and cough on your food from shoveling it down so quickly. I am traumatized from Dream Daddy, where you can literally die on one of the dates. Please don't kill me. Mommy reached over to pat you on the back, firmly helping you dislodge the noodles and enable you to breathe again. You took a big gulp of water from your glass, giving your mom's a sheepish look.
Oops.
Shiloh! I forgot. Hold on. Shiloh's voice is very high.
That's a good idea, Lizzie. Can we help Mrs. W?
W! Shiloh tapped his fork against the table excitedly, his face lighting up as he looked at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shiloh to still be here. Like always, his mom had to bring him over really early in the morning before her job started. But normally she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let your moms know she'd be late. You didn't hear why. Probably more work things. You thought maybe getting to hang out with Shiloh for longer is what made Lizzie want to keep running around outside. Staying at home and watching TV was never an option for her with guests over. So that's why you were pretty sure she'd oh my goodness! Oh, could I please be literate, please? It's literally my job. That's why you were pretty sure she'd get your moms to agree. Well, it's already so dark out there. Lizzie gave Mom the best puppy dog eyes she could, slowly spooning mac and cheese into her mouth while waiting for their response. I'm blocking her face. Let me fix that. Say hi. Aww. Don't you love... Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day. Your parents exchanged a look, then Mom eventually sighed and nodded back.
Yes!
Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up in a triumph, but waited until you finished chewing to say anything because you knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full. Fine. Just make sure you stay on the hill behind our house with all the poppies, okay?
Duh, Mom. That's where most of them are.
The idea had only just been planted in your head, but already you could just picture all of the glowing lights spread out in front of you, like the fairies from bedtime stories Mommy read sometimes. All too quickly, it became a race to see who could finish their food first. No choking at the dinner table now.
That's right.
If someone died, we'd have to cancel the firefly trip after all. Mom said it like a joke, but you knew they were both telling you kids to slow down. Shiloh did immediately. When you glanced at Lizzie, you saw her still eating faster than she should. Elizabeth!
Jeez. No one is gonna die. Sheesh.
A knock on the door interrupted Mom before she could, no doubt, scold your sister.
I'll get it!
Your big sister jumped out of her seat and ran over to the door, pulling it open without even looking out the window to see who it was.
Huh?
You shifted in your seat to try and get a glimpse of the unexpected guest. Please be Cove and not his father.
Red Lobster, if you can hear me.
Please tell me Cove will walk through the door unaccompanied by his father.
Hi.
Oh, thank God. Good evening, Cove. Your mommy had already walked to the door by the time you managed to see past Shiloh's flappy hat.
Cove?
You had no idea why he was here all of a sudden, but you supposed it wasn't worth worrying over. Instead, your eyes landed on Lizzie, who was looking at Cove like he had come here specifically to ruin all her plans. Then, for a few seconds, Cove said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mommy with a face almost like he was considering turning around and leaving. My dad told me to drop this off, because I guess he borrowed it from you. Cove took a familiar screwdriver out from his large side pocket, eyes now dropped to the floor. Still gets me. Hello. We left ours back home when we moved.
Great, thanks, bye!
Thank you. Here, why don't you come inside for a bit? Lizzie crossed her arms and lifted her chin. Cove shrugged, and Mom stood from the table, too. I'll give your dad a call to let him know you just got here all right. Cove shuffled fully inside, eyes remaining on the ground. Mommy closed the door behind him.
Hi. Hi, Cove!
Shiloh gave Cove a friendly smile while waving by holding his hand and opening and closing his fingers. Cove nodded in response.
Hi, Cove!
Cove, are you gonna catch fireflies with us? You could come outside with us if you want to. You weren't sure what to say now. I don't know, this is a really interesting kind of awkward moment. Like, he wasn't supposed to be here, but the story wants me to invite him. I'm trying to, like, play real and not completely natural, because when I play completely natural, there was a reason I was single for a while, let's just say that, because I can't. What's the good response here? It's not you weren't sure what to say. I'm gonna be extremely unlike myself and very willingly invite him, as if that doesn't disrupt my plans at all. You could see Lizzie eyeing you for mentioning the excursion to an outsider, but she'd get over it. If Cove said no, you'd understand though. Catching fireflies wasn't something that everyone liked to do.
Okay.
I want to see them. I've never caught one before. It's too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved in, and there must not have been anywhere he used to live.
We can't go until after dinner.
After she pointed this out, Lizzie walked back to the table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. Since this was very true, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. Cove stepped closer and eyed what was on the menu for your family's meal. Have you eaten yet? Yeah, my dad and I ate earlier.
So what did you have?
Eggs. Shiloh's like, eggs! I hope that edit was worth me getting in and out of my seat, because that was really stupid. The clipped one-word answer seemed to discourage Shiloh from asking any more questions. His eyes slowly wandered back to the last scraps of the food on his plate. Her phone call with Cove's dad must have ended, because your mom came back into the room.
Okay.
Cove, your dad said you could stay for a little longer if you'd like, but he's going to come get you before it's too much later. Sure. Oh, fun! This will be so nice. As you polished off the meal you hoped it would be too. The three of you all finished eating shortly after, and Lizzie led the way outside. Remember, don't stray too far.
It's fine, Mom.
Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie he was nearly stepping on her heels. Cove hesitated at the door. Coming? After a moment he did. Bye, children. The two of you were a good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shiloh by the time you walked outside. You pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get farther and farther away.
Hurry up! You're so slow, Jay. We don't have all night.
You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you, but paused when you saw Cove still walking at a relaxed pace. Are you gonna come? You tugged him along, you walked with him, you waved at him to hurry, you ran off. I'm gonna ace this dating sim, okay? I'm just gonna walk with him. Whatever pace is yours, my friend. You supposed there wasn't any real hurry. You knew it would be bad to leave him behind entirely. Aw, this is so cute. The two of you followed after the footsteps Lizzie and Shiloh left behind until you reached the hill behind your house. Lizzie had already climbed to the top. Shiloh was spinning in circles and somewhere around the middle. Upon seeing the gentle, glowing, winking lights, you moved a bit faster, eyes widening in delight.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll let him say that. Yes, can I help you? No? You're gonna walk away after attacking me. Cool. Shiloh took a moment to come over and welcome the both of you up to the hill.
Hi, guys. It's really great out, huh? See how many there are?
Yeah. A firefly danced through the air, landing on Cove's sea green head. Oh, I really wanted them to give me like a close-up, like art moment. That was gonna be so cute. Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You and Shiloh couldn't help. Oh, Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You and Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You quietly looked on. You shooed the bug away. I feel like it's gonna go away if we giggle. I'm gonna quietly look on. You took a couple of steps back slowly, trying not to spook the little bug as you admire how it glowed so brightly against Cove's hair. Cove raised an eyebrow, giving you a confused look, but Shiloh giggled. You gestured to his head and you reached up, making the firefly dart away. Cove jumped, then followed after the glow.
Oh, look! Lizzie has one! That's amazing!
Shiloh ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or his backpack along the way. You hummed as the group divided and conquered, shifting your gaze to the dozens of other fireflies sailing around. The game was on. Right? The game is on. Why does your head flop back like that? I didn't want you to step on my keyboard. Why? You had a bandage on your thumb and you tried to be cautious of that. You had a bandage on your palm. Okay, so where do I have bandages? I've seen that this game is very good at like giving you your own journey. And so I find that really interesting that it's even stuff like this, that you get to pick stuff from your character before. Like in the last episode, there was the bracelet and like what kind of bracelet do you wear? And then in this one, it's like, okay, are you usually someone who gets bumps and cuts all the time, or are you someone who takes care of themselves? And if you do, where would you normally have one? So on your thumb, on your palm, 2 on your hand, you were good at not getting cuts or scratches, so you weren't too worried about that. I feel like this is supposed to be like you're really rambunctious. I feel like thumb. Spotting one close by, you approached it with an assassin-like stealth, crouching down to make yourself seem less of a threat. Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you crept up towards it, arms outstretched. You closed your hands around the little glowing orb, careful not to crush it. The firefly landed on your palm, almost docile, and you stared down at your prize in delight. Its tiny legs tickled your skin, and you giggled at the sensation. Cove kept up with his own target, but when he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his efforts to clap his hands around the firefly. It's that ooh-ah sound again. Wah. Cove watched it vanish into thin air with... Huh? What did you do? Cove watched it vanish into thin air with a dissatisfied expression on his face. You encouraged him to try again, you told him about the firefly you had, you made a joke about what happened, you did your own things. I'm gonna encourage him. I'm gonna be nice! I'm gonna be nice!
You'll get the next one.
Cove didn't say anything and you thought he must be upset. He walked further up the hill to continue his hunt and you let your own firefly flutter back into the air. That was fine, you had your own plans. You decided to collect more, you decided to sit on the grass and watch. I'm winning the freaking game. I'm collecting more. With renewed vigor, you ran out into the hill. You're not sure how much time passed while you were in the thick of it. All you could focus on was the adventure at hand. No critter was safe from your grasp. At first, you tried to keep a tally of how many you had caught, but once the number grew higher than 10, you had no more fingers left to count with. Move on to toes, girl! Don't quit! You were having the time of your life, racing up and down the hill with the crash of the ocean and the sound of everyone's laughter echoing in the background. Eventually, the fireflies began to thin out and your energy started to lapse. You decided it was time to call off the hunt.
Come on! Jay, Cove, get up here. We're gonna have a race.
Well, if we recall last time, Cove and I don't run very fast, so don't think we're gonna win this one. The shouting caught you off guard. It had been quite a while since you heard from Lizzie or Shiloh. You glanced over to see them both standing on top of the hill again, Lizzie beckoning to you with quick hand gestures. If she was like that, you knew there wasn't much room for disagreement. Up the incline you went. From the corner of your eye, you saw Cove was coming as well. He didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might be intrigued just by the idea of a race.
Hi! Hi, Cove. You can't roll down the hill. You could hurt your arm again. You'll be the referee for the rest of us.
Aww, let him run. Lizzie pointed this out. Cove froze in place. Oh, it was that kind of race. He frowned down with his cast. That was the second time it got in the way tonight. Oh, let him run! What?
Yeah, you'll watch and see who gets to the bottom first. That's important. Got it?
I guess.
Yeah, exactly as he said. The cast was sturdy. If he was careful, he could have done it. Lizzie might have just been looking for a reason to make someone else be the referee. But it was already decided. Who got into the position for the race? I'll stay with Cove. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna stay with Cove. I feel really bad for him actually right now.
Really?
Really? Why? You don't have to.
It's okay. I want to watch.
Again, we established Cove and I aren't fast runners, so no point anyway. You moved beside him on top of the hill, even though Lizzie eyed you and made a face. That's the face she made. That's what she looks like.
That's not how races work. We only need one referee.
Lizzie, why are you being a bitch right now? Could you chill the out? Shrugging your shoulders, you refused to budge, and Lizzie let out a huff before throwing her hands in the air.
Fine. I'll be the winner, whether you join or not.
Lizzie moved to lay down, and Shiloh did the same. Cove stood slightly to the side to get a better vantage point, and you stood next to him.
Count down!
Cove stood up a little straighter. It seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duties seriously. Look at him, he's so determined.
3, 2, 1, go!
Lizzie and Shiloh took off, letting gravity do the work and rolling at high speed toward the bottom of the hill. You and Cove leaned forward to watch them go, eyes peeled for which the two would reach the bottom first. They were both neck and neck until about halfway down the hill, Lizzie started to veer off to the side, giving Shiloh a huge advantage. She obviously hadn't noticed a thing, and as soon as Shiloh reached the bottom of the hill, he jumped up excitedly and threw his hands in the air.
I won!
Almost immediately, he fell back onto the grass, still dizzy from his roll down the hill. Lizzie stomped out of the bush she had ended up in, sputtering angrily and brushing leaves from the front of her dress.
Not bad. You got lucky. Let's do it again and see who wins for real.
Kids, it's time to come in.
No!
You snickered, feeling grateful you hadn't been part of the mini debacle. You caught Cove's eyes and saw that he was doing the same. It had gotten late and was beginning to feel just a bit chilly as you made your way out of the hills, but the cold in the air hadn't dampened anyone's spirits. The four of you walked back home together, side by side, down your neighborhood street, discussing the evening, with each person trying to prove that they were the one who caught the most fireflies. You knew that whoever really did catch the most didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was that all of you had a good time, or you all had a good time. Which, judging by the smiles on everyone's faces, you did. And judging by the fact that I'm reading like a silly little moron, I should get a new job. Okay! Yay! Okay, so it seems I was right, that we get to play as many of these situations as we want, and then this is how summer ends, which I have no reason to not want to play all of them. We did Fireflies, that was a really cute one. I'm gonna save Grown Up for last because I don't really know what it means. I have a feeling we're gonna pretend to have grown up, but I'm just gonna save it for last. I'm very interested in shopping. Plus there's a pretzel, so I'm assuming we're going to the mall. I love mall scenes! I'm gonna save that for next time. Seems like these episodes are ending up at around the same length, so no reason to keep going with that. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. I'm having such a fun time. I have never really played a series because I always got in my head that I would have to do something like Minecraft or Sims. This is so freaking fun. So I hope that you guys are liking it. Bye.